Oh, dope.
All right. I'm going to play this clip.
We often get asked, what does it mean? It can mean many things. There's not necessarily a right or wrong answer. But to us, it's so much bigger than just another bullshit activewear brand with no purpose. We like to compare it to the meaning of life. We believe life is defined by the footprints we leave and not what society wants us to be. The impacts, the real life impressions we make, the ability to change things. At Revlutn, we have created a community that celebrates the uniqueness in each individual and encourages us to rise above the expectations of others, to be the hardest worker in the room, to break barriers, be the outcast. It's not just 3 words on the back of a shirt. It's a revolution.
Wow.
Oh,
what is up, guys? I mean, that got me, I was chilling. I was spine chilling a little there. What's up, guys? Teddy Cornwall here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. Something about the underdog. Today we have a very special guest. As you can see, the outcast himself. I mean, before we get into this interview, I want to give this man a proper Underdog Talk introduction, baby. Today's guest is a man hailing from the great state of South Dakota. This guest has traveled all over the world, even living in Japan at one point. A man who left college to create his vision of Revlutn Athletics. A natural bodybuilder and competitor. The CEO, the big boss, and the head honcho of Revlutn Athletics. Not nutrition, Revlutn Athletics, Mr.Levi Scrivner. What's up, man? How you been?
Pretty good, dude. I appreciate the introduction. Yeah, no, dude. This is a pleasure to be on this podcast, and I'm excited to kind of talk to you and talk to everyone that's watching here. So,
hell yeah, man! And before we start, I got to ask. I mean, how was that cookout last night? And now I got to ask because I'm a big cookout guy, so I got to know, how was it?
Bro, it was fun. There might have been a little bit of cross contamination with some foods, but I think we're all fine. So,
I mean, as long as the protein goes down.
Yeah, we definitely got the protein intake, so that's good.
It'll be gains at the end, I think. So
exactly.
So Levi, I want to start with your story, and specifically the start of your fitness journey. As I mentioned in your introduction, you are actually a bodybuilder besides being the CEO. Mm-hmm. So your first ever show, you actually come in at 145 pounds. So first of all, that's really light. And then I find it interesting, your next show, you actually weigh in at 155 pounds. So Levi, I'm going to assume that most of the 10 pounds was muscle. And I don't think people understand how hard it is to get that much muscle.
Yeah.
So what did you change from the first show or do differently going into the second show?
Yeah, so it was just crazy, because I only had 2 years in between those 2 shows. So and on average you're thinking maybe if you're hitting, your macros good for those each year, you're possibly looking at, a 7 pound different or 7 pounds of muscle added on, right? So I ended up getting close to 10 pounds of muscle within those 2 years, which is pretty decent. And I did roll in at probably 5 to 6% body fat for that bodybuilding show. Some of the things that I did change up is I started running. I don't know if you've heard of Matt Ogle. I ended up running one of his power building programs. Started doing a lot of powerlifting, mixed with fluff work, I call it, those accessory movements, and just focusing on mind muscle connection, and also just focusing on hitting my macros and upping my protein and all that stuff. So those are some of the key things that helped me throughout that 2 years of getting ready for my second show.
Hell yeah, man. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you just got your third show in recently, right?
I did. I ended up switching into men's physique.
All right.
Something that I never really wanted to do, but my body my physique was more towards that, to that class, and excelled in that class. So very grateful that I did step into that realm of men's physique.
Definitely. And sometimes we obviously just got to get out of our comfort zone and do something that, just got to get out of our comfort zone. I mean, that's what it is. And how did it go though? How did you finish?
I won the overall
hell yeah.
in that. Yeah, I ended up winning that show, which was very crazy because, I'm going up against a lot of big dudes. I'm not used to that. My last 2 shows I did compete in natural shows.
Gotcha.
But they're very, very slow. They're very small. So I wanted to compete something that was a little bit bigger. So I ended up going into an NPC show and going up against guys that are very big and on, on some PEDs and stuff. And I will say that I am a natural. So going up there against these people with, 9 years of training is pretty crazy, and winning. And, dude, I'm 100. I stepped on stage on 167 pounds. So I was not like big at any means. I was just aesthetic, I guess. So,
yeah, I mean, aesthetic you were, Levi. And I mean, first of all, hats off to you, because not many people can be able to compete in a competition where people are on something that makes them superior. And not only did you compete, you won. So hats off to you, because that is remarkable. And again, I mean, much respect to you for obviously, setting your boundaries and doing what you want to do, not, falling into the norms, because unfortunately the norms are obviously to get on this stuff to make you look better. But I think you can look amazing. You can win, obviously, being natural. So, I mean, that's just inspirational. So now I believe the third time is the charm. I believe that in life. So I'm going to say you're a professional at this point now. What advice, Levi, would you give people who are looking to compete? I'm actually looking to compete. Well, I am going to compete in my first show. What advice, now that you've done 3 shows under your belt, what's the one thing that people should know before going into a show?
Enjoy the process. That was something that I kept on telling myself throughout that whole, just like, everyone wants to step on stage, but it's very much people aren't like really like enjoying the process and like, wanting to, they want that instant gratification. This doesn't happen within a year. This doesn't happen within 2. I've been doing this for 9 years and, finally won a show, and, documenting your journey, because you never know who you're going to inspire. You never know who you're going to help. Because, man, no one knew who I was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Before I was prepping for this show, because I had my first show canceled. Ended up having to kind of reel it back and then, get back on, on track within that 3 months leading up to this next show. So I was in competition mode for 6 months. So, just enjoying the process, documenting every single step, and trying to inspire as many people as you can. So,
damn. And I mean, I think I'm ready to win my first competition after that. And Levi, I want to relate what you said to. I think everyone's going to know who the great Chris Bumstead is. And I saw a training video where he goes, I just fucking love doing this. Like, I don't view this as a job. I view going to the gym, the whole training, the whole nutrition aspect. I love it. This is something that I love. I don't view it as a job. And I see you view that the same way. And I think that's a competitor's mindset, but I think that's also just, it makes it so much easier. You're not getting that extra stress that so many athletes are about to compete are getting, because it is a very stressful thing. But if you're enjoying the process, then I think it definitely helps on that. So again, that's impressive. So hats off to you, man. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
And I think I want to say one more thing. So Eric Ogle, who I had on yesterday, another up and coming guy, he said the same thing about how he was doing his summer shred. And again, he wasn't too big of a fitness name out there, but he started documenting everything, started recording everything. And obviously, he's doing very well now. He worked at Alphaland, Raw Gear Athlete. So I think the same to you in terms of, and people who are listening, maybe that's something to consider, documenting your process on video so people can see what you're going through. Because not only does that gain followers, but it's a connection that's formed. So I think that's just, again, right on point, Levi.
Yeah, and you know, it kind of made it easy because I had my brand too, and from what you saw in the video, like, we are a community of outcasts, so kind of like putting my name out there more and just starting to document and just kind of show, like, hey, we are like a culture, like, we are creating something huge up here in northern Colorado. So it's exciting to see, and you can go into any gym in Fort Collins and see our stuff. So and it's crazy, and some people don't even know who I am. So I'm like, hey, like, nice shirt, and they're like, thanks, I got it off Revlutn Athletics. I'm like, I'm the owner. And they're like,
I know it. I know of it. And I think that's something. Hopefully, some person who's viewing this is like puts a name to the face, because Levi, I don't know if you can mind read, but I wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. I wanted to talk about the hottest activewear in the industry, aka your brainchild, Revlutn Athletics. To be honest, I want to know everything about it. So first, most importantly, how did this image start? Because I mentioned earlier, you left school to pursue this, brand. Meaning, I think you really believed that this would work, and clearly it has. So hats off to you. But back to my question, how did you get this idea of Revlutn Athletics?
This right here is the most asked question. And every time I get on the live, I love talking about it.
Good.
So when I was in college, I was in a business management course, and I was in my junior year of college. So we were asked to create a business plan, and I ended up creating a activewear company, and I think it was called like Visionary something. It was something stupid. So I created this whole plan, and I ended up like presenting it to the class, and right then and there, after I got done presenting it to the class, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. But it has to have an insane amount of meaning behind it. So I ended up calling my mom and my stepdad, and I was like, hey, I really want to do this. I want to drop out of school to create an activewear brand. And they were like, dude, you're like 1 year away, finish school. And I was like, I'll think about it. So I ended up calling my dad, and I was like, Dad, this is what I want to do. And he was like, all right, well, how do we do it? And like, do you have a plan? And I was like, I have it all drawn out. Let's go. And he was like, all right, drop out or finish out the semester and move back to Colorado. So that's what I did. I ended up moving back to Colorado. I ended up getting a job to save up $20,000. Saved every penny, and ended up coming up with a name, a logo. I ended up drawing my logo by hand. Had someone create it digitally, and then while I was like coming out with the logo and the name and getting everything legalized and all that stuff, and got our first batch of performance shirts. I spent all of my money, all of it, on all of this. And then it came to me that I should create a slogan, and I wanted us to stand out. And I was kind of going back to like my past as being an outcast, being something that everyone kind of like overlooked. and I didn't have any friends in high school. So, and I was a very skinny kid, like, you know, just a nerdy one that liked Lord of the Rings and stuff.
And nothing wrong with
So Star Wars and all that stuff. So, yeah, I ended up getting back, and I ended up creating the slogan "Be the Outcast," because I was an outsider, and I realized that being an outcast isn't necessarily bad. It can be very positive. It can be someone that is working when everyone else is sleeping. It's what is it to you? You can make your own meaning behind "Be the Outcast." So that kind of like came to light when I started creating it. So building a community of outcasts to inspire others to be a part of something bigger. What is the bigger?
What is the bigger picture? Yeah, and I love that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I understand that. I always felt like I'm the underdog, and I think you have that same mentality that people overlook us. And at the end of the day, man, it just makes us hungry, and that hunger turned into a brand. Mm-hmm. That hunger turned into what it is now. And so, guys, you heard it here. That's what the outcast means to the CEO. What Revlutn's all about. Now I have to throw in, I saw you were working another full-time job while Revlutn Athletics was in the making. Now I can barely do school and the gym. So how are you handling both of these aspects of your life?
Dude, no sleep. No sleep, energy drinks, and lifting. I was doing it all. Yeah, I was working a full-time job, and I was also on call a lot. I got blessed with a really good job to where, literally dropping out of college, I was making a decent amount of money to put towards Rev. And so honestly, man, I don't even know how I did it. But it was all worth it, and just kept plugging along. And I knew that there was going to be a day where it kind of took off to where, I can, do this, I can sustain myself and all that stuff. So, I don't sleep a lot because I'm always moving up here. There's so many different things that I'm thinking about, and it's just that creative mindset. So, yeah.
I mean, I love that mindset. I mean, that's the attitude of someone who wants it all at the end of the day. And I mean, Levi, I was going to say, don't feel bad because Bill Gates also dropped out of college. And I mean, look where he is. So if people ask, just all you have to do is tell them Bill Gates did the same thing. So now you've got a rapid growing company. I mean, people are starting to love. I have a gym shirt on. I'm taking that off after that. I will get the Outcast merchandise. Underdog Talk. I promise on that. The next time I'll be posting a picture in. Because I saw it. I love the gear, to be perfectly honest. So either way, so now you have a hot brand. Where do you see Rev Athletics in the future? What's your vision for it?
I
know that's a hard question.
Vision for Revlutn. Yeah. So I have a vision board, just like a lot of, dreamers do. I want to have a warehouse. I want to have a gym, maybe explore other business avenues and stuff like that. But ultimately, I want to walk into every single gym that I walk into and see Revlutn. And I want to walk into my own gym and see people, it's not just a gym you go to. It's a culture. People know each other. Everyone's pushing each other. Everyone's, everyone's a team. That's what I want. I don't want it to be a commercial gym. I want it to be a family, like where you walk in and everyone's just going crazy with heavy weight and just like, I don't know. That's what I want to see. And it's very hard to create that. But I feel like since, we're kind of growing a lot in our community, it's going to happen. So I see big things for Revlutn.
And I mean, so do I. I see it. I mean, trust the process. Everything takes time. I mean, there's a saying, it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't. And I mean, you see the progress, people. I mean, it really is a great brand. We're gonna plug it in the YouTube video at the end. And Levi, I know you're busy, dude. You're a CEO. You're an owner. You got all this work. What are you game for some quick rapid fire questions?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Best cheat meal that won't hurt your skew on the scale.
Oh man. Chipotle. I mean,
Ooh.
why not?
All right. I mean, you can't go wrong with Chipotle. Colorado or South Dakota?
Colorado, all the way, man.
Colorado or Japan? You see, we did some background.
I was 4 years old when I lived. I was 4 years old when I lived in Japan, but I would love to go back to Japan, but I would have to say Colorado because.
All right.
You know.
Favorite Rev Athletics product currently on the website?
Oof. The cracked shorts.
Those were
my favorite.
lightning bolts. Those were fire.
The Tiffany blue.
Hell yeah, the lightning bolts are I mean, those are gas. I'm about to ride those. I'm gonna stand out in the gym. Damn. Rev Athletics stringer or Rev Athletics shirt at the gym?
Stringer. I'm always wearing a stringer.
Damn right, showing off the muscles, man. Final question. This is a big one, Levi. Pull-ups or chin-ups, brother?
Pull-ups.
I mean, that's the right answer. I mean, if people say chin-ups, I'm going to have to end the interview. I'm going to have to not air this.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to chin up, honestly.
I don't know if I can do either of them, but I just prefer pull-ups. So, Levi, I mean, man, it's been an honor and privilege to have you, hearing about your growth as a person, hearing about your company. Before we go, is there anything you want to plug? An IG, the YouTube, obviously, the website. We'll put all that in the bio, but the floor is yours.
Yeah, we are going to start uploading on YouTube soon.
Yeah.
Life's been super crazy. We ended up getting our designer to Colorado from the Netherlands on Friday.
Congratulations.
So a lot of amazing products and designs are going to be coming soon. We're really going to be stepping up the process. And we're also, looking for that first warehouse. So things are growing, and I'm excited to see where they go. But I also want to say, to everyone that's watching from Revolution, I appreciate your guys' support. And I appreciate Teddy for, letting us come on here and talk to all of you guys, because, we're kind of tapping into a new realm here where I have only done one other podcast. So this is super fun, and I definitely want to do more of these. So I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, man. And it's on Insta. It's levitrains, all lowercase. YouTube, Levi Scrivner. And then obviously the Rev Athletics is also on YouTube. They made a dope Batman promo trailer, which had me, wanting to go watch Batman again. But guys, thank you for watching. Check out Levi's content as well as Rev Athletics. I mean, we have some big guests coming on, as you guys saw on my Instagram, TMC Strong. Until next time, Underdog out.
See you guys.